I just came back from a week completely off. No client calls, no emails, no Slack messages, nothing. And guess what happened? Everything ran exactly the same. The revenue stayed steady, the clients didn't had any issues, the team handled everything. I wanted to celebrate this moment. Instead, I had a sinking moment inside my stomach that I wanted to reveal. And you know what happened? Most of the entrepreneurs do not want to admit this, but let me guess what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna admit it. I was first time not needed inside my own business. And that revelation led me to a question that's keeping me up night. Am I running a business or an expensive hobby? Let me be honest with you, when I planned this week off, I was secretly expecting chaos. I was expecting someone would call me and ask me to fix this. Maybe my clients might call me for a crisis. Maybe something might go wrong and I only can fix it. But day after day, there was no Slack notification on my phone, and the notion was everything running properly with my client's approval. By day 3, I stopped checking my phone obsessively. By day 5, I was actually enjoying myself. By day 7, I didn't want to come back. And that's when it hit me. When my business was running without me, then I was thinking what I was actually adding into this. That's the question most entrepreneurs never ask themselves, because the answer might be more uncomfortable than they are ready to handle. Here's what I realized by the end of the week was I was confused between being busy with being valuable. I thought because I was working 60 hours weeks, because I was in every meeting, because I was the final decision maker on everything, I thought that made me essential. But what if I was the bottleneck? I started thinking about all the time I delayed the decisions because I wanted to think about it. All the time I worked because I wanted it's just right. All the time I just jumped into the problems that my team could have solved without me. And I realized something that changed everything. Maybe the goal is not to be needed. Maybe the goal is to build something that you don't require in it anymore. But here's the thing that gets interesting. Just last week, I was having a conversation with a person who already made a successful businesses. This was not a formal, typical kind of a meeting. We were just chatting about the business scale, and something got interesting. He mentioned about the partnership, joint ventures, and also for the scaling of the business. Here's where it gets interesting more, because he told something which stuck with me forever, and that was, I only consider working with people who figure it out how to step back from their own business. That really hit me. The reason is that he wants my team members to be focusing on, the daily task, what has been provided, and his job and my job is to show up more on towards the events, build more relationship, just show up more and more. This is what he wants to do it. The reason, it's not about what you know, it's all about who you know. And in order to do that, you need to step away from the business so that it can run autopilot. Today, I was on a call with my friend from India, brilliant guy, featured on newspaper, attended more seminars, given more seminars, and guess what? He knows better than anyone I know. But he was stuck on something which I was stuck for a very while. He is the only one who can deliver his expertise, the only one who can make the important decisions, the only one who can grow his businesses. I asked him what would happen if you don't want to work on your business for a month. His answer, everything would stop. And I thought that used to be me. Well, it's partially still I am, because I haven't completed till month, but I'm good for 2 weeks for sure. But it could be you as well. Section 5, the real question. Here's what am I figuring out right now in order to run a successful business. You're gonna be going through the multiple factors like, profit margins, what is gonna be scaling of the employees, scaling of the products, anything. It can be anything to successfully run a business, but that's not my metrics at the moment. I'm not figuring out that. What am I figuring out is completely opposite. The question is, it's this. Can it survive and thrive without you? Because if the answer is no, then you don't own a business, you own a job. A demanding job and an expensive job that happens to pay you. Maybe that might be okay for now. Maybe you're figuring out yourself. Maybe you're creating a system. Maybe you're at the moment of building the more products into your line. Maybe some kind of a reason. Maybe you do not have figured it out properly how to let it go. That might be a reason. But By the end of the day, or maybe someday later in your life, you might have to ask yourself, what is the end game here looks like? I'm still figuring out myself. I'm still building the systems. I'm still building my product. Nothing has been perfect, but there's a constant asking of this question all the time. Am I getting closer to that? For sure, because I have left for 1 week. I can survive for the another week. I might not survive for the 3rd week and the 4th week coming up, but I'm building myself that I can trust and let it go so that it runs without me, and there is no version of myself needed in the business anymore. And that's what is called a scalable and exitable business. So tell me in the comments, if you took a week off right now, what would happen? And more importantly, how do you feel about the answer?